Good morning, everybody. Pretty exciting news late last night. Big shout out to Brandon. Thank you, sir. That was an excellent post you shared with me there. Brandon B. Holden, ladies and gentlemen. So it is true. Congressman Kyle Biedermann out of Texas, he's in state legislature, has filed for independence for Texas. He's building that right now. Now, Alberta and Illinois have dabbled in this in the past year, of course, in our most recent election. For those not paying attention, I got a lot of American Republicans giving me the gears over my last video, and I tagged the president and I talked about the Supreme Court, which ruled exactly as I said it would, Republican and Democrat alike. That is state sovereignty. That is the Constitution. That's America. However, there's another side to this now as Texas takes that gross abuse. They take it inside themselves and they immediately file for secession. Now, why this is a big deal, Illinois and through Chicago, Illinois, the state, have had it at each other for a number of years, just like Alberta with the rest of Canada. This isn't the first time. Now, for everybody to understand what's going on here, I've talked about this. I've taken a lot of abuse from the Republicans and even my conservative base here in Alberta. What Texas understands, and that congressman understands very well, is exactly what I've been trying to warn all of you about. Now, Texas, Illinois are massive energy trading partners. They're American hubs, but they're massive trading partners of Alberta in energy, okay? Their tremendous GDP comes directly from Alberta. That's a majority bulk of the money that Texas and Illinois make. Without Alberta, Texas and Illinois would not be the massive energy hubs they are. Now, they call it Canadian oil to Illinois, but the reality is a massive bulk of that comes from Alberta, Canada. It's the same thing with California. I've already done these state forums with California. I haven't gone to Texas yet, but obviously as the anger machine of Texas rolls out, confused, angry, they need to be settled down. They need to look at this in the absolute real, legitimate legal path. I've already called Congressman Kyle Biedermann. I've left a message. I'm sure early this week they'll get back to me. He'll do his search. I'm trying to get Richard Albert, who is one of the top 10 constitutional experts in the United States, a very good friend of mine, and it just so happens that's his home state. So I'm pretty sure in the next couple days, possibly by the end of the weekend, I'm going to hear back from Richard. He always does. He's not the only academic in the States. A lot of people think I'm a liar, but, Richard knows the truth. He's been very kind in bringing me forward with the best academics worldwide. I've been doing that work. It's not a lie. I've been standing on my own 2 feet, as well as I have gone out with the WTO and many, many more country experts. It just keeps growing and growing as they give me a little more rope and a little more slack. I absolutely did sit with a Supreme Court justice in the United States in a very limited forum, one of the Republican Supreme Court justices. I'm not trying to tout my own horn here, but the analysis I did and the presentation, the video that I took tremendous abuse, the result was absolutely exactly as I said it would be on state sovereignty. And it's not that I'm smarter than Americans or smarter than people. I've spent 6 months with the world's best constitutional experts. I've been just pushing this because I'm an Alberta secessionist, a real one. I've spent 4 years of my life developing the legal path for Alberta to become an independent UN state. All the work I do is absolutely 100% legitimate. Republicans now, that anger machine is clearly seeing that as my post is starting to change and people are giving me credits. I hope very much I get to go forward with Kyle and I get to sit down with him, at least in a phone conversation. From there, I plan to go out to Illinois. It's not my first time with Illinois. 2 years ago, I spent considerable time with the state of Illinois, even though Chicago was not on board. And Chicago is a massive central base of Illinois, and they have a lot of power and authority over on the Democrat side. However, I look at it like the song, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Right now, we're experiencing a Line 5 disruption. Joe Biden is likely going to cancel that pipeline. 800,000 barrels of processed Illinois crude from Alberta that now is threatened to be cut off from any of their shipping, okay? So that will absolutely devastate 1/3 of Illinois' economy in energy, which is huge for them. That will put Chicago in serious Great Depression. Texas knows what's coming, even though everybody, I know, including Texans, I know they think that Alberta, Texas, we always talk about this big alliance we have, but the reality is almost twice that is with Illinois. Illinois is our major energy trading partner. I know it's kept really quiet and kind of hush-hush because they name it Canadian crude, just because we blend through Saskatchewan, which we love Saskatchewan, but the reality is it's Alberta oil, a massive bulk of it. Nobody likes to talk about because Canada puts their stamp on it. But the reality is, like I said, this is coming to a head right now. Whether Illinois wants to admit it, I think they will. I think a conference call going forward will absolutely happen between Alberta, Texas, and Illinois. Jason Kenney will likely not want to participate in that. I don't see him doing that. I know what he is. Texas, however, will, and they're going to want somebody with actual credentials in separation, and that's likely going to be me. I would think I'm going to get the reference, as those experts across the United States are going to red flag me, I'm sure of it. It's kind of like somebody who specializes in a brand of an old car. You know, you go out on trading, there's a top 10 list of people that should be working on that. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be me. So, this is exciting, everybody. It definitely changes the dynamic. And when you talk about hope, this is the hope right now. You want to change the Joe Biden America, or you want to change the Laurentian East Justin Trudeau narrative. This trifecta, if it can be worked out logically, and if I can get that knowledge out to Texas and Illinois congressmen, and if it hits the governorships, great. And you know what? If Jason Kenney can take a knee, great. I think I'll be contacting Drew Barnes as I see some success rate here. And I'll start there with Drew Barnes, MLA, Medicine Hat, Brooks. That's where I'm going to go. So, I don't know, everybody. Let's see what happens. Wish me luck. I think this is going to come to fruition. Like I said, I got Richard Albert as a really good friend. And I'm legitimate. That's reality. I know everybody doesn't really gravitate to all these things, but I've never lied to any of you. And the reality is I nailed it, and Americans are seeing that on that post. Over 30,000 views. Massive negativity, but the reality is I nailed it, and that could only be possible if I actually did and have done what I've said. And you can all look at it. I got the greatest minds literally in the world here at my disposal. So I must have done something right. And more and more people keep taking a shine to me. So have a great day, everybody. I still have to do my part 3, but this is just monumental. And I hope you guys all get it shared out, because this is the next greatest, biggest thing going on. And we're going to see, is Texas just an angry machine right now? Or can a guy like me sit down with those parties involved and iron out a detailed plan and analysis that they can all look and go, holy smokes. And I think I can. So right on. Have a good day, everybody. Make sure to share. It's important.